Look, he's not the brightest.
I hate this whole men's mental health bullshit that they talk about. Unfortunately, when you're a man, you are the provider. You are the one that takes care of your family. You are the example for your kids when they grow up, and your sons, and your daughters.
Take care of your family like hitting your wife twice, Dana? How exactly is this taking care of your family? Being the provider? The only thing you provided was a case of domestic violence. He said in that podcast, you are the example for your kids when they grow up. What example are you setting here exactly? That no one is safe around you? No wonder he hates mental health. Because if he worked on it, if he favored it, he would have some form of self-control.
And you, unfortunately, you can't be that guy I see these guys posting on social media, oh, I had a bad day and I'm so sad and all this other crazy shit.
So unattractive.
It's unattractive to other males, let alone women.
Wait, what?
It's unattractive to other males.
Hang on. Why do you care what is and is not attractive to other men? As comedian Gianmarco Cerezi put it, it's unattractive to other males is the key part of Dana's philosophy. The man who rips what is and is not attractive really is, objectively speaking, a fan of gender-affirming care. Now, before we get back to Dana White, Katie Miller, the wife of Stephen Miller, believes she can identify unattractiveness. Are we being for fucking real right now? At this moment, does her audience just laugh at her? Because this is, without a doubt, insane. But then there's Dana White on The Breakfast Club. And let me tell you, sight to behold.
If a UFC fighter was caught on camera,
it's happened.
It's happened?
Oh, God.
Okay.
And that's why you
I wonder, would they have been treated the same way?
You know what's funny is that, it's not funny, but I used to say that you don't recover from those. Those are ones you don't recover from.
Mm-hmm. But you did.
I did.
Do you think being the boss protected you from consequences that employees or athletes?
No, definitely not.
No, definitely, Dana. Come on.
Dana White officially lives in Delulu land, everybody, because maybe we should have seen it coming. With his mother, June, letting us know many years ago she would publish a book that was titled Dana White, King of MMA.
A good person. He seems to have lost his character somewhere along the way. He mistreats people. It's terrible the way he speaks of women and treats women. That really bothers me because I don't believe I've ever brought him up to behave like that.
She would warn the masses that tuned into this interview. Everyone knows that he puts Tiger Woods to shame, accusing her son of repeatedly cheating on his wife. Plenty of the ring card girls slept with him. There's 2 of them I know for sure. He slept with his sister-in-law in my house, which made me absolutely furious. She'd call his marriage to Anne, who he struck on video, a joke. She also called him a steroid user. On that marriage,
I have a hard time with Dana's marriage, I guess you could call it. Because I am a believer, if you're married, and that's it. And if you don't want to be, and you want to be out with other people, then leave the person you're with. His wife they're constantly fighting. The honeymoon, she gave him the worst black eye I've ever seen. He nearly lost his eye. So I don't know if that's his way of handling it, but he's gone overboard with handling it.
Now, back to White and that interview, because we learned just how narrow-minded his worldview is.
But listen, I'm not an overly political person either.
Very quickly, if you can, become a paid channel member or go to Buy Me a Coffee to support this channel. Thank you.
Are you part of the MAGA movement culturally? Do you align with their ideologies and their values?
You know, I consider myself right down the middle or leaning a little liberal.
Dude, you cannot say this. When you spoke at the RNC, not once.
American businessman and president of the Ultimate Fighting Championship Mixed Martial Arts Organization, Dana White.
What's up, GOP? Good evening, everyone. My name is Dana White. I am the president of the Ultimate Fighting Championship. So tonight, I stand with Donald Trump.
Not even twice.
No one person and no one place could have anticipated the challenges that COVID would bring. But President Trump has faced all these obstacles head on. It was clear his highest priority was always the health and safety of everyone in our country.
But 3 times.
The mainstream media likes to push the narrative that he doesn't care about anyone but himself. I absolutely know that's not the truth because I've been friends with this guy for 25 years.
This whole I'm not political shtick is really tiresome because at this point, it's just a repeated line over and over again.
There probably aren't any. I'm probably not as far right as everybody thinks I am. Everybody thinks I'm like far right. I literally, up until the world lost its mind, considered myself to be liberal. I leaned, a little left. But I would say that's probably the biggest misconception. Everybody thinks I'm like some far right, I'm not really even that political, to be honest with you.
Stating it not just on podcasts,
Or whatever your deal is, or whatever I'm not a real political person.
but in front of UFC media, which, to be clear, I don't even know if you could call it that anymore. The gall of one to say they are not political when they allowed their entire sport to be used to rehabilitate a man's image, who, in my eyes and many others, push conspiracy theory after conspiracy theory after conspiracy theory.
The Dominion voting machines, I saw absolutely zero basis for the allegations. I told them that it was crazy stuff, and they were wasting their time on that.
We have a company that's very suspect. Its name is Dominion. With the turn of a dial or the change of a chip, you can press a button for Trump, and the vote goes to Biden.
The president kept fixating on this suitcase that supposedly had fraudulent ballots, and that the suitcase was rolled out from under the table. And I said, no, sir, there's no suitcase.
Election officials pull boxes, Democrats, and suitcases of ballots out from under a table. You all saw it on television. Totally fraudulent.
Which, of course, eventually led to this.
You can hear it right here. That's me screaming because the guy in the striated sweater thing is reaching underneath my visor and trying to gouge out my eye with his thumb.
What really made me want to come was the fact that, I had supported Trump all that time. I did believe, that the election was being stolen. And Trump asked us to come.
He personally asked for us to come to D.C. that day. And I thought, for everything he's done for us, if this is the only thing he's going to ask of me, I'll do it.
We're going to walk down to the Capitol.
Did you recall President Trump mentioning going to the Capitol during his speech?
Oh, yeah. So that's one of my disappointments. He said he was going to go with us, that he was going to be there.
I know why I was there, and that's because he called me there, and he laid out what is happening in our government. He laid it out.
But I remember Donald Trump telling people to be there, right? I mean, to support.
So you mentioned that the president asked you. Do you remember a specific message?
Basically, yeah, he asked for us to come to D.C., that big things are going to happen.
What got me interested, he said, I have something very important to say on January 6th or something like that, is what got me interested to be there.
And what did he do in turn?
The January 6th attack on the U.S. Capitol was an act of rioting, looting, and mass political violence. President Trump wants you to believe a different story.
They were there with love in their heart. I call them the J6 hostages. It was a beautiful day. I pardoned J6 people who were assaulted by our government.
Now, Dana White will continue uttering crap like this.
So Donald Trump, again, say what you want about him. The guy saw this thing coming, was into it, and gave us our first shot, and you'll never hear me say anything bad about Trump.
And even if he does, he cannot deny the fact that the Ultimate Fighting Championship is a far-right organization. The UFC is aligned with the Trump admin. The UFC platforms those in his orbit and gives them a grand entrance every single time. Who else gets this treatment anywhere from a sports organization? The answer, of course, is nobody on the fucking planet. Would someone who leans left or is not far right in White's eyes, produce a documentary for a presidential candidate that is unequivocally just propaganda to help them win. Josh Tucker put in his write-up, if there's something inherently queasy in having Barack Obama fill out an NCAA bracket on TV or a championship team visiting George W. Bush at the White House, something unsettlingly stagey, too determined in what it elides and too overt in what it seeks to do, then Combatant in Chief is 14 minutes of pure jaw-dropping vertigo. You can't say you're not far right when you give to far-right candidates politically to help their campaigns to win and hold office. He embodies what being an American is all about, White said of Donald John Trump, who was born an inch from home plate. The Guardian wrote, the UFC has gone to great lengths to help campaign for Trump. This is all Dana White's doing.
The whole thing's grotesque. I mean, it's the carnival, it's the circus, and it's come to mainstream.
So when Charlemagne says stuff like this to Dana White,
this was a guy that was always good to me and, always treated me well, and I did it.
I can understand that. That's your friend. But when your friend has a disapproval rating of 62%, right, record high, people say they don't like his handling of the Iran war, the economy's shitty, cost of living for people is fucked up. Why can't you tell your friend he's failing the people? As a friend.
Well, he's the president of the United States.
Still your friend, though.
And yeah, I know. But, for me to get involved in, it's like, I'm sure people disagree with you that are friends with you. And everybody has friends that you just, doesn't mean you're not friends with them anymore. It doesn't mean that you.
Oh, no, I didn't say you shouldn't be friends with him. I just said, why can't you tell your friend he's failing the people? Because these are the same people who make UFC a success.
Yeah, I don't know if I agree that he's failing the people.
Of course you don't. We already covered that.
You'll never hear me say anything bad about Trump.
It is very clear. Dana White is a stooge.
But tariff inflation has increased the price of household goods, increased utility bills because household electricity costs have gone up 9%. The failure to extend the Affordable Care Act has fucked up people's health care. Everyday working class people who support your sport are hurting.
You're never going to have a president that everybody approves 100% of everything they do, and not everything is always going to be perfect.
See what I mean? These are indefensible positions, and yet Dana is still dancing for Trump.
It's interesting. Most CEOs try to stay politically neutral to protect the brand. You almost seem kind of like proud to be.
Proud to be
political, I guess.
Not proud to be political. I mean, I'm just saying that this guy is my friend, and nothing is perfect. And, whoever is the next president, right or left, isn't going to be perfect either.
Well, what about when people say that you're the reason why a lot of young male voters, because of, you have seen everything that you have, voted for Trump? And that was something that, like, even if you didn't mean to do, it was widely talked about, and you still leaned into helping his popularity in the space.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
But that gets political then.
Yeah. I guess.
So you're responsible for the high tariffs and the high inflation costs, and
I guess so.
But that's the problem. He doesn't see himself as absolving the Epstein class. He does not care about ushering in fascism. To him, he still somehow, in his eyes, remains slightly left. And with the manosphere, it is just so abundantly clear that so many of them see themselves in White because he simply will not try at any point in time to help himself.
I would love to see Dana change. I really would. I would like to see him become a better person. He has everything. I just keep saying it. There's no reason to be that mean and cruel to people all the time, to be hurtful. I don't understand it. If he would just step back and think about it. Maybe he needs a psychologist or a shrink or something to make him see all of that. The person he's become from the person he used to be.